The important is the regularity. It's not about how long you sleep. If you do everything the same every day, usually your body is happy because there is no change. Everything is about the routine. The routine. So it's not about today I need to sleep 8 hours or today I need to sleep 10 hours to catch up. That doesn't exist. We don't catch up in sleep. Your body wants you to be the same every day. So if today you wake up at 6 a.m., your body wants tomorrow to wake up at 6 a.m. Even if you go to bed at 3 a.m. or if you go to bed at 10 p.m.
Welcome to the EO Business Podcast. I am your host, Linh Podetti, and today we're diving deep into the fascinating connection between sleep, well-being, and performance with my guest, Dr. Paul Rochon. Paul is a sleep engineer, biopsychologist, hypnotherapist, and the past president of EO China North, having been a member of EO for over 8 years. He is the founder of Engineering Sleep and Engineering Wellbeing, as well as the head of Sleep Center at Raffles Medical Center in China. With a PhD in cognitive sciences, a master in psychology and neuroscience, and a background as a former professional rugby player, Paul has spent his career understanding the profound ways biology and psychology influence human performance. In today's episode, we uncover how Paul discovered his mission in helping people optimize their sleep and explore practical sleep hacks you can implement to improve your own rest and recovery. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Paul to the show.
This episode is sponsored by
Great design is something that improves with age, like me. And this, a lifetime guarantee. That's important. And because Mia specialises in all of these things, of course I put my name on it. Introducing the new Mia Durham Alma range. Mia, with you for life.
Welcome to the show, Paul. So great to see you again.
I'm very glad to be invited.
Actually, I got to refer you to as Dr. Paul. But yeah, it's been great being able to also meet you in person about November last year in Beijing. I love that EO can help us expand our network, and I was connected to you by another EO Beijing person. Actually, yeah, she's from Beijing. She was from Sydney, and that's how we got connected. And when we met, I was so interested in the subject of sleep and how you overcame your own sleep problems. And then I said, I know so many entrepreneurs that would love to hear about this. So love to hear about, your sleep knowledge, but also let's start with your business. How did you get started in your business?
Yeah, I would say it's very interconnected, actually. I think I was someone like all the entrepreneur. You want to do a lot of things all the time, and you want to find a way to gain time. So basically, I was doing a couple of studies. I was working in a nightlife, in very famous bar. I was doing a lot of music as well, and I was a professional sports player. So all that together, I have to find a way on how to sleep less in order to gain time. So that's the way I start to study the neuroscience of sleep. I was doing a master in neuroscience, and I was wondering on how to create a watch that will wake you up at the good time. So I'm talking about like 20 years ago. So we were creating maybe one of the first watch in the world of trying to calculate your biology and to wake you up at the good time. You know, this kind of sense, this feeling like you wake up naturally and you feel good, or you sleep very long and you wake up with an alarm and you feel very bad. So our goal was to make people trying to wake up and feeling good. So just to make it short, we end up doing the first prototype in 2007. And 2007, it's the iPhone 1, and you have an app which was waking you up at the good moment. So we threw out everything. And I end up in Beijing opening some other business.
So tell me more about your watch, because we were talking about it and you said that it's very different to other watches out there. Tell me more about the functionality, because this is really interesting. I just bought my son I forgot the watch that's everyone's wearing at the one that Ronaldo's got. No, it's a
The Whoop.
Yes, the Whoop. That's very popular at the moment. Love to learn more about the difference between the Whoop and what you've developed.
So what I study neuroscience, and after I studied psychology, and after I study cognitive science. So I have a triple kind of degree, and that's why we were trying to do a little bit something specific. Also, watch what they are doing right now in the world. They are calculating your biological movement, the variation of some indicator. What we were doing, that's a little secret, because still nobody is doing it. We were trying to measure the variation of what is going on outside and what is going on inside on the same time. So we were able to calculate proactively the way your body is going to react to the outside factor. Let's put it like this. So it's still not yet there. Huh? I mean, the watch that you have right now, they just calculate your HRV, your heartbeat, your temperature, your oxygen. And with that make people more anxious. So actually, as someone who's not promoting this kind of watch because it makes just people more anxious.
Yeah, that's
Than
my
giving
concern
sleep.
about wearing it as well. I feel like at the moment, if I don't know, then I won't care. But if I know, then I might go, oh, what's happening? Talk to me a little bit about your journey as an athlete and then, not being, what did you say? You said that you couldn't come back to pitch and then you realized it was all the mindset. And yeah, it's just such an interesting little glimpse into your past. Can you share a little bit about it?
Yeah, he come with this idea. So I was a professional rugby player. I start at 15 years old and I was professional at 17. Like I really like this sport because it's really like a mind sport. When we think it's like a big tough sport, but actually it's very inside of the mind. I get injured around 20 years old and I couldn't come back. I didn't know what to do. When you're not surrounding by the good team of people who can bring you to the right direction. And I see that a little bit in entrepreneurship as well, like the importance of having a mentor or having someone who has passed by there to help you to go through this kind of problem. And that's why later in my life, I realized that, no, I need to surround myself by people who know the things. I cannot find everything by myself. So at that time, I went to study biology, actually. That's my first master. Because of that, I was thinking, what did I did wrong? What I could have done in physiotherapy better? But actually, it was all in my mind. It was all my mindset was not ready to come back on a pitch. I was scared. So here we go in the 5%. Yeah, I was scared when I go back to the pitch. I was like, I was scared not of the people in front. I was scared of myself getting injured again and packed again by the same process, which is a very long process. Yeah.
And so this led you into the love for psychology. And how did you then become a doctor? Like, what was your journey into that?
Yeah, I get very lucky. I met this old master in France, which was the first one who create what we call cognitive science. So cognitive science is a science of the information, the way people take information and the way they give information. So it's a mix of neuroscience, psychology, philosophy, anthropology, linguistic, AI. We were working on AI in 2002, all the linguistic talking. Yes. So I find this guy, and it was the end of his life. I was his last. He took me as his last student because we were doing this watch with him, and he gave me more or less everything he did. He was studying people who were doing meditation in the 70s with a lot of things on the brain to record the brain wave. So I study so much things with him, and so I become what we call a biopsychologist. That means I'm a specialist of the state of consciousness. So the way your brain is changing in order to perform to something a little bit different. Like for instance, the way you learn or the way you learn things in the morning will be different than the afternoon, right? So that's what we call a state of consciousness. So I become as well a hypnotherapist. So a hypnotherapist, it's a way to induce a state of consciousness in order to get information coming inside of you faster. It's not a way of sleeping. Hypnotherapy is not about sleeping. It's about being even more aware, but not having this little voice which is telling you, stop believing that you should do this, this is good for you, this is bad. So this little voice disappear, and then everything that you hear come inside of you and transform you much faster, I would say.
Mm.
So, yeah.
Yeah. And so you have worked with entrepreneurs and you have been an entrepreneur yourself and you're trying to maximize the day, not sleeping. Can you share a little bit about that challenge and how can we as entrepreneurs overcome that sleeping problem or that mindset around I need to hustle and they strive to have a good sleep?
So, for instance, I was saying I was working in the bar industry when I was younger, and I never stopped. So I have 25 years of bar and restaurant industry. I started to work in a Buddha bar in Paris in 2000. So from there, I could work everywhere in the world. At that time, it was one of the most famous bar in the world. So I went to open a couple of bar and restaurant, and that's the way I joined EO. I think in 2016, I arrived in China in 2007, where I opened a Vietnamese restaurant, French restaurant, a whiskey bar. And then I took over an Irish pub in 2013, and we win like the best community pub in the world. So it's not a little award. It's a very big award. I went to Dublin to get this award, and people in a room was saying like, and it's French. So everybody was kind of surprised that the French can do that. And from there, so I was working a lot the night. And so for me, the F&B has always been something important. And that's where I was trying to manipulate the sleep with the staff, with the people around me. So basically, people were coming to me for drinking, sport, and food. And on the same time, I was distilling the knowledge on how to make this, I would say, more performant in order to don't have the problem later during your daytime, to be able to be active, to be able to work good. So I opened the two companies on the same time. I was a doctor the daytime for sleep, and the night I was my bar and my restaurant. Then I stopped the bar and restaurant, I would say, in about 2020 during the virus. And I created a company a little bit more about well-being in general. So it's called Engineering Wellbeing. The goal was to not only about sleep, but it was more about everything about mental health, physical health, and all the social health. And even, I would say, the environmental health, like the light, the sound, the air quality, how to make everything better for you to perform at your right level, which is one of the sentence in EO. It's like how you bring people to elevate yourself to your full potential, right? So the sleep for me was just a way to put it in the middle. It's like everybody will come to see me with, they have a relation with sleep, but it's never the problem. You know, it's like it's one of the symptoms. On the same time, is a solution. So we will help people to understand the sleep, what is the science behind the sleep, and how to move it. So that's what we call the engineering part inside.
Yeah. Okay. So are you able to share your own sleeping habits and ritual that make you, I'm assuming you're in that space, so it means that you have the optimal sleeping habits. Correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah, we'd love to hear how we can learn from you.
So to know about something, you need to be very bad at it. Yes, I was very bad at it for sure. And my goal was to try to make it better. The way I was doing when I was in the bar industry, I was going to bed every day around 5, 6, 7 a.m. And I was waking up every day around 2, 3 p.m. So the important is the regularity. It's not about how long you sleep. If you do everything the same every day, usually your body is happy because there is no change. Everything is about the routine. The routine, the routine, the routine. So it's not about today I need to sleep 8 hours or today I need to sleep 10 hours to catch up. That doesn't exist. That we don't catch up in sleep. Your body wants you to be the same every day. So if today you wake up at 6 a.m., your body wants tomorrow to wake up at 6 a.m.
Ah.
Even if you go to bed at 3 a.m. or if you go to bed at 10 p.m., you know. So this is the most important rules. That's the number one. Okay. The number two is what you do when you wake up. Because when you wake up, you need to have all this information from outside. Remember what I told you about cognitive science is how you take information from outside and you bring inside of you. And that's the most important in order to your body being fixed. So the most important is the sun. If you see the sun at the same time in the morning, that means all your biological clock in your body, from your whole body, your whole system will be synchronized. And when it's synchronized, it avoids all the kind of disease you can think about. Synchronization.
You're suggesting when we wake up, we might find a particular time when the sun rises. So I wake up really early, so it's still dark. But let's just say I know that at 7 a.m. it will be bright. I go for a quick 15 minutes walk or something, and that would really help my body and my health.
Correct. Exactly that. So a little walk, because you will start to exercise a little bit, is good enough just to get the body warm. So your nervous system will start to rise. And then when you come back home, you have a little breakfast. That will be amazing. Because the breakfast is good for two things, the breakfast. The breakfast is good for activating your nervous system as well. And so it's giving to your head the time it is outside. And the second one is because the elements that you are going to put in your body will be transformed to help you to sleep later. So you need this time. You need this 12-hour window to let, for example, the protein transform into serotonin, which is something which is helping you to fall asleep better, to sleep better during the night. So if you don't eat the morning, if you skip breakfast, then what you are doing, you transform it for later. So that's why your body wants to sleep later.
Any more points? That's 2 points there. Love to hear any more.
But there is three: exercise,
Ideal.
sport, and sun. Sun is the number one. The last one is a social interaction. So when you get up the morning, if you watch your phone, no problem. For me, it's not a big issue. I think it's even positive because you start to put into action your body. The more you have action, the better, uh, I will say, your performance will be during the day. So the sport, the strongest, don't need to be too strong. You need to be just a little bit activated. If you have a dog, it's the best thing because the dog want to bring you outside in the morning and you walk a little bit, then you come back.
That's a good hack right there. My kid's been wanting me to get a dog. Maybe there's a reason to benefit me, not just them.
Exactly.
So, tell me a little bit about your journey in living in Beijing. How is it like as a French guy living and working in Beijing? Is there a bit of a culture difference? And, how have you been able to navigate and how long have you been there now?
Yeah, I've been there for 18 years already. Mm, Beijing have changed a lot. And the first part of my life in Beijing, I was kind of living a hiding life. That's another life I will share 1% the time. I was living with someone where I didn't need to work too much. So I was enjoying going everywhere. But that gave me time actually to find a lot of different things to do. So it was amazing Beijing at that time because everything was possible, I would say. And this kind of feeling of entrepreneurship, everything is open. Everybody want to create something. Everybody is here to pushing you. So this feeling was amazing. And that's what I've faded out, I would say, since 2018. So it's a little bit harder now for entrepreneur, I would say, to come to Beijing. They still have a lot of opportunity. I would say the market have changed. So I was in F&B, now I'm in healthcare. For me, the healthcare is still booming, and even more than maybe any other place in the world. It's just the education of the market is quite hard, I would say, in Beijing. But I invite everybody to come in Beijing to find the beauty of this place.
It definitely surprised me. I never thought of visiting China because I think, on the media, they're always portraying China as, I don't know, problems and restriction and control. And so I never had it in my bucket list, but because of visiting, the reason to visit a friend, I came across it and I'm like, oh my God, it has everything. It reminds me of a bit of Singapore, a bit of Korea. Actually, I haven't been Korea, sorry, Japan. Um, yeah, it's just amazing. And what is it that you think you love about Beijing, in general, that some listeners might be listening here and go, okay, sell to me. Tell me why I should visit Beijing.
People are amazing. I mean, in China, people are happy. It's like they don't spend time to think about things. It's useless for them to think. Okay, so it's very entrepreneur thinking. It's like we control only the things that we can control. So we are thinking about it, and so they are very happy all the time because what they cannot control, they're not taking care of it. Let's put it like this, okay? And so you can feel this happiness in the street. People going out, people are always kind of smiling. There is no insecurity. It's like zero insecurity. You feel free. Yeah, you feel free. And we really say this word in China, you're free of creating business, of closing business, of hiring people or bringing like ID. And you will find people able to try to think with you and trying to make it even bigger. And it goes fast because the changing in technology, it's very easily integrated inside of the everyday life. So yeah, that's see. When I go back to France all the time, I left 20 years ago, and when I go back to France, it's always the same than 20 years ago. But 20 years ago in China, it was just a field with a cow, and now it's building everywhere.
Wow. Well, yeah, just the advancement. It's amazing. In terms of the social media and, I remember learning that you have a different LinkedIn. LinkedIn is different to your, does that affect the way you run your business? If you're running a global business and you've got clients overseas and, you can't access Instagram properly or Facebook properly. And like, how do you navigate around that? Because social media is such an
Yeah.
important aspect of running a business nowadays. And how does that impact your business from China to the world?
It is a big point. What we say is like, if you can work in China, you can work everywhere in the world. Say the market is closed, it's completely closed. The only social media is where we have is WeChat. We have a red book as well, but it's a little bit different. It's just for video. But WeChat is doing everything except coffee. It's doing everything, like your bank, your transport, your phone, your bill, your electricity, buying things online, everything, your train ticket. You have just one app and it's doing everything. So there is no need of trying to get everything else. And that's true. The rest is closed. We still have LinkedIn used with a VPN. But then, for example, I will give you, in my business, I sell product as well. I have some e-commerce. So I'm testing some product, which is a biohacking product or any kind of thing related with well-being. So I vouch for them. So I'm testing product from outside and I'm testing product from in China. So I need to have two platforms, basically. I have a platform for selling outside and I need to have a platform for selling inside. So it is a little bit complicated. I know there is some tool now to try to integrate both of them. But for sure, in the mind is like you have a market, it's China. And if you come with your ID from outside that you are going to change it, don't come, because you can only adapt to the number. It's like it's huge, it's bigger than you. So you're going to have to adapt to the market. And then what you can do is to take what you have find it and bring it outside as well. It is possible. And they are looking for that right now. China market is looking for going outside. A lot of people, number one priority is to go outside China market and to bring their capacity and their knowledge, which they have actually. They have a lot of capacity of helping the people outside. It's a sadness to see that the world is a little bit closing to what China put in place, because in 20 years is like a big laboratory. They have tested so many things that people could use already. We lack a lot of things here for sure. For mental, for health, for example, we lack a lot of tools or capacity of knowledge. But there is a lot of things they can export for sure.
Oh, amazing. Now, a little bit about your journey in EO. You've joined in about 2016. Is that correct?
Mm.
Yeah. How has it benefited you? You know, what have been some of the highlights of being part of EO?
So 2016, I joined. Yeah, I have no idea. When you join, you don't know what you are going to have. The first year was not that good, I would say. Changed forum a couple of times, but I persist thinking of like the first thing is never the right thing. So, and then I had a very nice forum. And then during the virus, I start to feel like I'm gaining nothing anymore because the virus, kind of everybody left China. And I was a little bit desperate that what do I do with this EO thinking? And everything changed from there. My wife just told me, stop saying bad things. Why you don't take care of it? And I was like, you're right. Yeah, you're right. So thank you, my wife. She's just telling me, so I become president. And I've been president twice, so 2 years in a row, because nobody could do it. It was a nightmare. So we did a lot of things. We revamped the whole forum, and we start to create one thing. It's what we call the Grand Tour. So we start to travel all the chapter in China because we were close at that time in China. We were having a very good life in China. We just couldn't go out or in. And so we traveled to meet all the chapter, one by one, all the Chinese chapter. And we start to feel this kind of feeling of family feeling, which we didn't have anymore. We were during the virus, that was the biggest problem, like we couldn't see the family. So we start to have this sense of family, and that make us so strong in North Asia that the group grew up all together very well. So after that, I start to take a role in a regional council. And next year, I'm going to be the area director of what we call the metropolitan area, which is the English-speaking chapter in Asia, in North Asia. So like Tokyo, Kansai, Shanghai, Beijing, Seoul, Korea. We have Taipei, we have Bangkok, we have Vietnam, we have a Greater Bay Metropolitan as well. So we start to have a series of chapter which is called Metropolitan, for this idea of like technology, English speaking, so bridge kind of chapter from outside and inside. Yeah, I learned so much, I would say, with EO. For me, it's like it's a second family now. I'm spending a lot of time, maybe a little bit too much for my wife, I would say as well. But you see, that helped me to meet you, Lynn, as well. I'm really meeting amazing people all the time. So surrounding yourself with people better than you, that's what I always try to do. It's like that bring you to the top, to above, right?
Yeah. Well, what motivates you to take on so much for EO? You know, you're running your own business. Not only did you do president 1 year, you're doing it more than 1 year, and just so much. Like, what drives you? Where did that come from? Where did that drive come from? Was there anything that you grew up with, this kind of deep down desire to help somewhere?
I would say it's more the desire of being belongs to a team. It's kind of the same as a sport. So when I'm with, so we were with the regional council like yesterday, for example, and or 2 days ago, and I really feel this feeling like, wow, you are with a team. In my business, I'm lonely, and basically that's true, and that's why I joined EO. It's like you're alone, even if you have a partner, it's not exactly what you are hoping. So when you are with them, it's like you have this sense of trust directly, and you have this capacity of as a team building something to go above. And this feeling, that's what I'm looking.
You're so correct. I think as human beings, we desire that connection. We feel fulfilled. If we're alone, we feel empty and purposeless. So looking back at your journey in entrepreneurship, how have you changed as a leader? Who were you back, when you were still working in bars, and compared you to now? How have you grown that you can observe?
Hmm. I focus much more to work on the business now. Before I was much more working in the business. Let's put it clear. I was in the operation, in the strategy. I was behind the team all the time. I was micromanaging everything. I changed a lot from that. That's true. And now it's much more like a delegation and trying to raise the valuation of the company much more than working on it. Even if, of course, I have patients coming, and I feel bad if I say no. I'm still learning how to say no. I will say, let's put it like this, like because I'm still working with people who come with problems, and like a psychological problem or physical problem, and they want a solution, and they went everywhere. So we work with hospital as well. I'm the head of the sleep department in Raffles Hospital, the Singapore hospital. So we have the same here in Beijing, and I'm taking care of the mental health in this hospital as well. So I do some clinic work, but that's not what drive me. It's more like I see those people going everywhere around, never find the proper way, and so this stick me. Uh, but on the same time, what I like is to work on creating machine more, on doing research. So EO give me this idea of like find your own purpose more than doing the things that people ask you to do. Yeah.
Mm, mm. Well, this leads me to the final question, which is, what's your purpose? What do you want to be remembered for with all the things that you're trying to do, helping EO, helping people who can't sleep? What do you want to be remembered for?
Yeah, that's a good question. Mm, what I want to be remembered for is someone who have tried to do everything that make him feel right. Just to put it like this, is like I have worked towards the things that make me feel right. But at the same time, if it's inside of the well-being thinking, I think I want to be remembered for someone which is starting or like being a pioneer in a new way of taking care of people. Like because what we try to create is an approach of well-being that nobody do. We help people to feel more tuned with themselves. Um, for example, I create like a men's club. We have different male club, one in Beijing, one in Shanghai, which is like trying to make men thinking about mental strength a little bit different, trying to understand what is inner power, but working very scientifically. So I will say someone which is starting to create a new approach on well-being, the mixing the scientific part of well-being and the holistic thinking about man, the social part, the environment part, the mental part, and the physical part.
Ah, that's beautiful. You are doing that. You're on that path. So thank you so much. So how do people actually connect with you, considering you don't have some of the social thing, or you're on WeChat? And if we're listeners around Australia and other places, how do we follow you?
Mm, I think we have a couple of websites. It's called Engineering Wellbeing or Engineering Sleep. So that's the name of the company. I think I have a LinkedIn, which is Rochon Paul. You can find the same as well, for sure. I can contact like this. And or if you are an EO member, you find me in Beijing Metropolitan,
Yeah.
for sure. Or you will see me in GLC.
Yes. Well, thank you so much, Paul. I can't wait to see you in person again. EO allows us to have more opportunities to connect. So we'll be seeing each other in Hawaii. So thank you again for the chance to chat today on the podcast.
Great. Thank you. Thank you.